puppy's okay with being touched from a very young age. So what we do is Miss Betty loves food. So I've got food in one hand and then I'm just touching different parts of her while she's eating the food. If she stops being interested in the food, the touching also stops. So what we can do, because she absolutely loves it, is, hello gorgeous, we know that she's going to be okay with that. So at the moment, she's pretty good with everything and she's pretty crazy about food. So we just do some nice gentle touching of everything while she's okay. And if we need the food in order for her to be okay, then we can. But Miss Betty is pretty good, so what I can do with her is do the touching stuff. She's not particularly noticing it, and then we can appear with a little bit of food for her to reward her for that being a really good experience. What we can do is make sure that we lift the tail. We want to be touching the feet, obviously, the ears, lifting their head up, good gal, and then feeding. So it's always followed by something that's really positive. So you can see that even when I don't have food, I'm still giving her verbal praise as we do these things. Ones that we want to be aware of, we all think about ears, but we want to make sure that they're okay with us looking in their eyes. We want them to be okay with us opening their mouths. So obviously they're not going to be able to be eating while we're having a look in their mouth. So what we do is we just do a little mouth open, good gal, and then we follow with the food. So that whatever happened before that is a positive experience. The one that people forget a lot is lifting the tail. Because obviously your vet in the life of your dog is going to take their temperature a few times. We don't often lift our dog's tails very often, so getting them okay with being touched in the back end is just as important as it is them being okay with us looking at ears and eyes and paws. So we can hold on to feet, have a look at the nails, and don't forget that they have back feet too. So we have to do these ones just as much as the front ones. Because when we're rewarding at the head end, we're giving them food, we often forget that we actually need to be touching the other end as well. Another one is under the belly, over the top. So you can notice that she is taking food from me throughout all of this. It doesn't matter what the rest of my other hand is doing. If she were to ignore the food all of a sudden, if I was to keep touching her and then she was to notice, then that means that I've gone a little bit too far. So what we do is we always make sure that they're nice and comfortable while we're doing all of this. And this can be part of your daily routine with your puppy from as soon as they come home. Good girl, Miss Betty. Good girl.